Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Me and My Shed. Today we are going to be coating some BMW Z4 GT3 rear suspension components. These are quite worn, they were quite rusty. It's all made out of steel. We've got some drive shafts, the CV joints and brackets, and both the rear uprights. One of the uprights on the floor. We blasted all the old coating off of these. I don't actually know what it was coated with before, quite possibly the same stuff. But we're using Fosgard-109. It's a primerless coating. You can dip it, you can spray it, you can even brush paint it on. But because we're blasting all the old stuff off, we're just sort of working to our advantage on that. This stuff sticks really, really well. It's like I say, it's a thin film coating. We do 2 coats. It's been used widely over many years in the motorsport industry. Old historic endurance F1 cars and stuff like that. They used to have all the suspension components painted with this stuff. It's really durable. It's like I say, it's thin film coating, so it can be crack tested through. Every couple of years, race cars have to have a crack test to make sure the suspension components are up to scratch. And if you had to strip all this stuff off every 2 years so that it could be crack tested, it wouldn't really be that cost effective. So this sort of coating is ideal. It's a little bit like Cerakote, but you can crack test through it. The crack testing companies don't mind crack testing through it as long as it's not too thick. Like I say, we're going to spray this on because we don't have a dipping facility, and I have brush painted this on stuff in the past and it didn't look very good in my opinion. It may have been because I put it on too thick, I don't know, but I've been doing this now for a good 3 years and it goes on really, really well with a spray gun. So I'll put some snippets together of how we're getting on and show you some pictures at the end of, or show you a video at the end of what it all looks like. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Cheers. Just a quick little thing that I forgot to mention in my opening video. We don't blast any of the splines because when you dry blast, it does remove some substrate or surface material, whatever you want to call it. So we don't blast the splines for that reason. And we won't coat the splines either. Same with the CV joints. We've left the splines, we've left the threads, and we won't blast inside there because there's a lot of moving parts in there, and we don't need to coat in there because that's going to be full of CV grease at some point, so we don't need to worry about doing any of that. So we will get these degreased and then remask them up and then get on and get some coating done. So they've all had 2 coats. Have a little flash cure while the oven warms up. And we'll get them on and get them baked. And that's that. BMW Z4 GT3 rear suspension components. Old paint removed in the dry blaster and then coated with Fosgard-109. I should mention that Fosgard-109 used to be called Kifos, but it was outlawed because it was so dangerous, not healthy. So it was remanufactured, and now it's called Fosgard-109. And on these rear uprights, where these spherical bearings go, it would have been a massive fuss pushing them out and then trying to push them back in without damaging the coating. So our Jimbo at Rothko knocked me up a little nylon cap. So we popped that in there for blasting, and then we popped it in there while we coated it. Moves lovely. We can get a higher glossy finish with this as well. It depends on what you blast it with. If we were to blast this with glass bead in the dry blaster, you get a much smoother finish. And the knock-on effect is the finish of the Fosgard is smoother, and it becomes more glossy as well. But this is fine for a race car. Even the little carbon fibre tang's still intact.